Welcome, everyone. Here you are at the front of St. James Anglican Church in Carleton Place. As you walk through the grand entrance of St. James, today you will be introduced to a sacred and revered place along the aisles up to the front of the church. This cherished area is called the sanctuary or holy place. Here is the holy table or altar. This large, mainly wooden table and sanctuary are often decorated with beautiful ornaments such as the fair linen cloth made of the finest embroidered linen, specific non-drip candles, Holy Bible on a fancy book stand, and holy vessels, which are shiny polished silver and gold dishes, such as an ornate paten, plate, and chalice, cup. The dishes are referred to as elements. The presence of this holy table follows Christian and Anglican faith traditions. Many years ago, in the larger churches of England, the altar and the sacristy, which is a small room near the altar, and special clothing named vestments, were cared for by a sacristan. Throughout history, and to meet the needs of our smaller churches in Canada, the work of the sacristan came to be done by a group of women known as altar guild or chancel guild or sanctuary guild. St. James' small group of trained women is called the altar guild. Flora, who is particularly appointed by the rector of St. James, is the lead of the guild. Flora is responsible for keeping the cupboards stocked up with supplies and liaising with the clergy on a regular basis with what is happening at the church. Flora invites ladies to volunteer with her. Some of the volunteers have been part of this group for several years. Flora stated that the Altar Guild's most important goal is to help the clergy with the services. All of the special items on the altar table, sanctuary, and area are meticulously maintained and lovingly cared for by this guild. Each item has a particular name, and the language must be learned and used when the group is doing their work. This elite group follows superior standards of rules and regulations passed down through generations of Christian and Anglican followers. Although their manual work is not as labor-intensive and time-consuming as it once was, the highest standards of perfection, placement, traditions, and maintaining of the items on and around the altar table continues to this day. Certain items, such as linens, cloths, holy vessels, and other specialty items are protected and stored in a special room hidden beside the altar. If you have been in a church previously, you might have noticed the priest and helpers disappear into a secret room with the linens and dishes after the communion of wine, bread, and blessings is finished. Imaginations must run wild from parishioners who watch the ceremony, wondering, what are they doing in that room? How big is it? Is it a secret passage that leads somewhere? What else is in there? Just tucked in behind the organ pipes. Shall we dare to take a peek inside? I shall finally let the cat out of the bag and say it is a small temperature-controlled storage room with many cupboards, a sink, a special wine drain called a piscina, and a roster for schedules. This room is called the sacristy. I was quite disappointed when I first saw the sacristy being a plain-looking small room. However, this room is treated uniquely as extremely old and carefully looked after altar items are specifically wrapped, stored, and placed in a certain way for absolute cleanliness, away from a window from sun damage, and any dust that may occur over time. Before and after services, the altar guild perform their tasks in the sacristy, and the sanctuary with hushed voices as they work together, often in groups of 3. Some of their tasks include folding linens, preparing the bread and wine, readying the flowers, choosing specific items that are needed for a particular service, cleaning and hand washing the linens, kneeling at the communion rail, and thanking God for the privilege of working in his holy house. The Altar Guild follows strict rules according to the cyclical church calendar. Linens for the altar decorations and vestments are colored in a specific hue to match the days and seasons of the church calendar. The colors of the church calendar mark the seasonal faith stories of God working through Jesus Christ and his Holy Spirit. These traditions have existed for thousands of years, observing the church seasons by celebrating God's participation within us. Here, you will observe samples of the various colors that are utilized throughout the church year. Dark purple or blue is used during Advent in the preparation of Jesus Christ's birth. White follows, which celebrate the 12 days of Christmas. Next color is green, which lasts until Lent, which is deep purple. Red follows until Good Friday, when the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ. The colors are removed to honor the death. To celebrate Easter, white is the color. Then, after all of the Easter celebrations, the color green is used, representing Bible stories, until back to Advent preparations to dark purple or blue. For special services such as weddings, baptisms, and celebrations of life, the colors are changed again according to the more specific rules of the church traditions. For favorite celebration services, particularly Easter and Christmas, the Altar Guild asks for volunteers to help with flowers, wreaths, and various pieces to magnificently decorate throughout the church. The Altar Guild's professionalism, flair, and knowledge of art, religious history, and traditions are keenly seen in their dedication to their work. Current members of the Altar Guild are Flora, Jackie, Mary, Lynn P., Ronette, Kelly, Sandy, Chris, and Lynn H. Many thanks for your little tour today, and we hope to see you very soon.